Good evening and welcome to Crafting by Moonlight. This evening we're going to be continuing on with our Alice in Wonderland themed party, and for one of my tutorials for the Harry Potter party I made a Harry Potter acceptance letter garland that you hang from the ceiling, and it's suspended on invisible thread as I have here. So that way it gives it the floating letter effect. So we're going to do kind of the same thing this evening. You do not need to use this for an Alice in Wonderland theme party. You could use something else, or for a poker night at your home. You don't have to hang it suspended from the ceiling. You can literally drape it around the room if you would like, or on a mantle or something like that. So let's get started. First things first, you're going to need... you don't need to have invisible thread, but I'm using it just for the aesthetics. You could use regular ribbon, but what we're going to do is we're going to make a slip knot. Now, I'm not sure if I went over this in a different tutorial yet, or if I've even gone over it at all, but I'm going to go ahead and go over it now. So to make a slip knot, you're going to need some thread and or fishing line. This is a jeweler's Invisalign, like I said, but you can use a fishing line as well if you would like. And what you're going to want to do is, we call this the tail. So when you know where the top of your loop's going to be, which is, you know, you want to leave a pretty good tail if you need to. You're going to take your tail and then the rest of your ribbon, and you're going to cross it over. So it's going to cross over, not under, over, just like that. So see how that's lifted up in the middle? So you know this goes over this. Now, how I usually do mine is I literally will hold it, because this is going to be facing you. So your layover is going to face you. It's not going to go behind. It's going to go over. And then what I usually do is I actually slip my two fingers in between my loop, bring them down to my main string, and slip it through and pull it just like that. And there's a slip knot. Once you tighten this up, it'll actually move anywhere you need it to go, and then simply just undo it if you need to. If that was too fast for you, it's okay. I think I'm going to do a quick tutorial on some knots that will be useful in crafting. So let's continue on. So I'm going to go ahead and make my slip knot, and I apologize, my kitten's playing around down below me. So I'm going to go ahead and make my slip knot, and I'm going to pull real tight. So now, as you can see, there's now a knot and there's now a loop, and then all I have to do is tighten it up, and it'll tighten up pretty well, and it'll stay, which is something that's hard to do with fishy line or even the Invisalign. It's something that I've struggled with my entire life, even in my jewelry crafting, is having it tight, or using clamps. The clamps never seem to hold as well. The slip knot is what I've found kind of holds pretty well. So that's going to be our top. That way if we need to hang it on something, we can. And now we're going to go to the main body of ours. Now, like I said, you can't really see the Invisalign, and I do apologize. But it wouldn't even help if I stuck paper underneath, because it's literally clear. All you can see is the shine. So I'll try to keep the light on as much as possible so you can see it. Now, I actually had bought these cards, and as you can see, they're actually really large. These are, I think, what, 4 or 5 times larger than the average card. This is a regular playing card. These are colossal cards. I think they're like 18 inches. Can't be. They've got to be at least 12. At least 12. There were some for 18, but I thought that would be too big. These I'm actually going to be saving for a different craft that we're going to be doing real soon to go with on the table. We're going to make playing card guards, kind of like they did in the Tim Burton movie. So that's for later. But I did buy these cards originally for this garland, but I decided they were too big and I kind of want to use them for something else. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to take the little regular size playing cards, because we have a ton of those left over if you did the playing card roses. So as you can see, these are all my diamonds. And I actually went ahead and divided out my suits, so I'm going to pull those over. So I have a ton of these left over from my playing card roses, which is great because we're going to need to use them. There's an 8 heart, which I'm going to need for that later. Okay, and then the other thing was I took some cardstock and I cut out suits. So we're going to put those on there as well. Now these were a little difficult to do, so they were a little tricky. I had to get a little creative, especially with the stems for these. And I wanted to show you how to cut them out, but I was kind of in a hurry. So what I will say is I took a regular 8 by 11, 11 and a half cardstock paper, and I literally drew out a clover leaf and the stem. And then I folded it in half and then I cut it. But you need to remember, if you arch the top, it's going to be arched too. If you divot the top, it's going to divot too, because it's a mirror image. So just remember when you cut those out, try to make them as close to this club as I could. So we have those as well. We've got some spades, some hearts, some diamonds, and the clubs. So what I want to do is I want to start with the actual suit. And we may just do one that has a suit all the way down, and then some that are just the cards that are all the way down, but we'll see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my club first, and I'm actually going to go ahead and double up on these, just so the backs kind of have a little bit of stability, and we get to cover up these. I'm using glue dots again. So once again, I'm going to use glue dots. This project would be easy for that, not only for the fact that glue dots are really good for things like this, but also for the Invisalign. It is a little bit better than hot glue, because when I did the acceptance letter garland, I was really worried about burning, melting the Invisalign thread with the hot glue. Or the hot wax is what I used. Yep. And I've got one right on my table. Okay. The only thing I don't like about the double, the Zots versus the glue dots is that the Zots come in a pack where it's literally 2. And I don't necessarily like that, because then it's kind of hard to maneuver. But it's okay. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to take this one and we're going to layer our thread. See, as you can see, the little dark dot right there, and then the one in the middle. So I put it on 3 different spots, and I'm actually going to line this up completely even, and I'm going to try to press it down into that glue spot to kind of secure it. And then we're going to take another club, which it's kind of hard because these were all different shapes because they're not uniformed. Try to find one that matches, or try to make them match. That would probably be a good idea. And try to line them up and paste it down. In this case, I'm not going to be able to because these were way too different, but that's okay. I can always just change it as I go along. See, that one's too big. So we can go ahead and leave this like this, or we could even, line it with a card instead, and that works too. So it looks like a falling card. So take a card and push that down on there. And then actually, since we've got kind of a falling effect going on, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and do one side with shapes and one side with cards. And then what I'll do is, to secure the card, I'll put down a few more glue dots. So then this one can go this way. And then we can do a diamond going that way. So it's just a matter of getting really creative and doing what you want to do. This video will not be posted until probably after the party, only because that will be when they're hung up, so you can actually see you could see them in full motion, or how we display them. This one I'm going to go ahead and do. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and continue this all the way down. Like I said, in the end, what I will do is I will post a picture of the final setup, but so you can kind of see how it looks. Let me get my finger in there and tilt the camera up a little bit. So we have it on this side, and then we have this side, which is okay because this actually shows the backs of the cards. So you actually have the different colors, the blue and the green, or the blue and the reds, and then you have the suits on this side, and you have the clubs on the other side. So I'm going to continue doing this, and like I said, in the end, I will actually post a picture of the finished product on the website and on the YouTube for you guys. My name is Alice. Thanks for watching. This is Crafting by Moonlight. Have a great